We are the restaurant brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise. We help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We're deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the restaurant brokers. Our name says it all. You're back on the air with the Restaurant Brokers, and we sell restaurants, the industry leader in restaurants for sale, franchise restaurant resales, and site location for the food service industry. We are growing our brand and franchising nationwide. We currently have offices in Florida, Georgia, Colorado, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Join us on our website at WeSellRestaurants.com if you'd like to learn more about this great company. And today we're spending some time with some folks that I just have so much admiration. Hattie Hill, who leads the Women's Food Service Forum, and Carrie Underley, who is a butcher extraordinaire and has really carved a place for herself as a woman in this non-traditional role in the industry. So, Eric, what do you want to ask these great folks today?
It's a very nice way to cut in the intro for Carrie again.
Yeah.
Robin. Well, I want to ask you guys, I mean, you know, both of you have been very successful women in the industries that you belong to. What are some of the challenges you personally face in your career that were, you know, hey, you know, I think this is tough, but I mean, I want to buckle up here and get through it. But some of the things that were harder for you guys to get to where you are today. Hattie, you want to start us off?
Probably the biggest challenge for me in my career, I've spent 32 years owning my own company and being mostly in corporate America. So I was a woman, African American, and I was young because I started in my late 20s. And so it was everything, credibility in the room, to being trusted to bring them the information and the advice and my research and all of those things. So initially it was just, you just have to keep doing it over and over again, because once you gain credibility with 2 or 3 different companies, after that, everything else was easy. So initially it was just, this is the situation, because there's not a lot of women there. There's not a lot of women of color. There's not a lot of consultants who are in my age range. So all of those were my big first.
And Carrie, I think that's a little bit about what you were saying, that you're teaching these women that you're mentoring in the industry. That was a little bit about what you said about how to establish their own credibility with a provider or processor or somebody who wasn't taking them at face value. Is that based on your own experience?
Definitely based on my own experience. When we were launching the Flatiron Steak, I would walk into a grocery chain and they would look at me and want to take me to the demo rooms because they wanted me to do the samples.
Oh my God.
And so it wasn't until, I gained that credibility. And honestly, the book being nominated for a James Beard Award really helped elevate my industry. And, one of the challenges that we face right now is that when you start a new school, it takes 2 years for the accreditation process to take place. So we don't have access for our students to have grants or student loans or even to use their GI Bill funds. So we started a foundation after my 2 grandmothers called the Celia Harriet Foundation to collect money to give to our students for sponsorships or scholarships, to go towards their education.
Oh, what a great idea. Really good. And, we don't have a tremendous amount of time left, so I just want to return and just sort of wrap this up, Hattie, by let me ask you, what are 2 to 3 things someone listening to the show today either relatively low-level person in the industry or someone growing their career, what should they take away and leave with as their action points?
I think first action is increase your skills. Know where you are. On the Women's Food Service, WFF.org, we have our membership is very inexpensive. It's like $199, I think. But you can actually take a leadership competency assessment that help you identify what your skills are. Once you know where you need help, then we can start working on those skills. Because I think to Carrie's point earlier, we've got it all starts with competency, that you can actually do the job, whatever it is. And you may not even have thought about that. The second thing that I would say is look for role models. We have some amazing role models. For example, in Kat Cole, who's the chair of our board of Women's Food Service, was started as a waitress at Hooters and went on to be president of Cinnabon, and now runs Focus Brands, is a part of the leadership team for Focus Brands, which owns like Slotsky's and Auntie Ann Bagels and Auntie Ann Pretzels and McAllister's. But these are people who started waiting. She started waiting tables. She has a great story. There's many stories in the restaurant and food service industry like that. So look for the stories so you'll know if they did it, I can do it too. And then the last thing I would say is just persistence. Just don't give up. If you don't find the answer one place, turn to someplace else, because at the end of the day, if you increase your skills and really connect with people, you will eventually be successful, because that's what we're all in the business to help you do.
I love that. Increase your skills, look for role models, and be persistent. What do you say, Carrie? Do you agree with those, or anything else you would add?
I totally agree. And people ask me sometimes, like, how did you do it? And I just didn't give up. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and if you're afraid to go up the ladder, take one step. Next thing you know, you're halfway out. So I agree with everything, and I can't wait to join the forum.
I think, we're walking into our show today, and, we were saying once again that old axiom that 90% of everything is just showing up. And so many times women will show up. They are consistent, but they don't know how to let that light shine within the industry. So if folks want to reach out to each of you individually, Hattie, quickly give us your website address, and then Carrie, let's let them know how to reach out to you too. Okay. Hattie?
So we are, and I will even give them my personal email, because this is so critical. So they can email me at hhill, womensfoodservice.org or WFF.org.
Okay. And Carrie?
I'll direct them in the right direction, because this to me is so critical to get that first start. So I don't want them to get lost in any paperwork. I'll take it personal.
I love that. How about you, Carrie? Where can folks find out more and even learn about your Meat Academy and attending school?
Sure. They can reach out to me on Facebook. It's Carrie, Kari, Underly. Or they can also take a look at our Muscolo Meat Academy website, which is Muscolo, MUSCOLO, meatacademy.com. And there's plenty of information, and if you didn't get all that, I'm an easy Google search to find. So I would love to hear from you. And also you could join our Girls Meat Camp page as well.
Okay. So, and all of that information, every single week is posted online at our website, WeSellRestaurants.com. So we try to connect folks in the industry with one another. We do this show as our outreach to the industry so that folks are able to hear about things that are happening that they may not have focused on. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon. We're the Restaurant Brokers. Again, we've been talking with leaders in the industry from a female perspective. Join us every week as we continue to satisfy your appetite for acquisition, feed the need for restaurant reality, and serve up a recipe for business success. We're going to take a brief time out, and we'll be right back.